Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited, Pipistrel sets an Oshkosh 2019 record. Thieves broke into at least 9 airplanes in New Hampshire, and an upright skydiving formation record has been set. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend and welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Sophie Hurlock. As you all know, this year's Oshkosh was a record setter for the EAA and the sport aviation community. And now we're finding others are reporting a similar effect on their own operations. Well-known sport aviation powerhouse Pipistrel Aircraft is reporting record sales activity from this year's event. Pipistrel USA's Michael Coates reported, "This year's AirVenture was different than in the past years. This year, people were seeming to be in a much more purchasing mood, and they have a more positive outlook on the economy and the future. Visitors to our stand generally spend a lot more time talking about the aircraft, and they unanimously said they were using AirVenture as a single opportunity to evaluate and purchase a new aircraft." 11 single-unit on-site sales were made at Oshkosh alone, and around 30 potential orders are under negotiation. This, accompanied by 50 recent aircraft orders from the U.S. Aero Club, just goes to show Pipistrel is having a wonderful year. The company expects their efforts with both the electric and training aircraft will provide additional opportunities for 2019 and 2020. We'll be right back with Around the Patch.
Sandia introduces the new SAI 340 Quattro TSO'd airspeed, attitude, altitude, and slip. With integral backup battery, safety never looked so good. See it now at www.sandia.aero.
Finally, a modern, affordable four-seater without compromise. Turbocharged Rotax 915 IS power, 155-knot cruise, 800 nautical mile range, 1,000 feet per minute climb, and all that at 8 gallons per hour. Don't compromise. Check out the Sling TSI today at airplanefactory.com.
Welcome back. It's time for today's trip around the patch, where we'll take a brief look at some interesting stories coming out of the aviation industry. AVFUEL Corporation announced 2 new partnerships with full-service FBOs in Central Washington as it welcomes Pangbourne Flight Center and McCormick Air Center to its branded network. Pangbourne Flight Center is the sole FBO at Pangbourne Memorial Airport in Wenatchee, Washington. McCormick Air Center is Yakima, Washington's only FBO. The Guam-based Island Knights of Helicopter Sea Combat Squadron 25 responded to a civilian in distress aboard a Chinese-flagged vessel in the Pacific. Within 2 hours of notification by U.S. Coast Guard Sector Guam of the distressed mariner, a Chinese national aboard CSC Brave, an HSC-25 search and rescue team led by Aircraft Commander Lieutenant Commander Philip Pretzinger departed Anderson Air Force Base. The mariner was airlifted to Guam and transported to Guam Memorial Hospital for medical care. The DOT has issued a final statement of enforcement priorities regarding service animals. The department's enforcement office announced it does not intend to take action against an airline for asking users of any type of service animal to provide documentation related to vaccination, training, or behavior, so long as it is reasonable to believe the documentation would assist the airline in making a determination as to whether an animal poses a direct threat to the health or safety of others. Longtime West Houston Airport Chief Pilot C.G. Hank Henry passed away at the age of 94. Born on January 10, 1925 in Crossville, Tennessee, Hank was a world-renowned flight instructor with over 35,000 hours of flight time, most of which was instructing. In 1973, he joined the staff at West Houston Airport, where he served in various positions, including maintenance supervisor, charter pilot, certified flight instructor, chief pilot, and FAA designated pilot examiner. The rest of your Airborne Unlimited is coming up after these messages.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
Today is a new dawn.
With a new name.
Un nuevo logotipo.
A new factory.
Und einen globalen Kundenfokus.
We are Continental Aerospace Technologies, and we stand behind you.
At least 9 airplanes at Nashua Airport were damaged by thieves who took tens of thousands of dollars of electronic equipment. The thefts were discovered early on Saturday, and officials say the thieves used pry bars to break the locks on the airplanes to steal GPS and communications equipment from the aircrafts. Airport manager Chris Lynch said the thieves knew what they were looking for because the airplane's transponders, which were individually serialized to a particular owner, were left behind. Lynch also said everyone feels extremely violated and that tampering with an aircraft is a federal offense and a very serious crime. An international team of 84 elite skydivers are claiming a world record for largest formation while flying in an upright position, which they set back on Friday of July 26th. The team traveled from around the globe for the record event at Skydive Chicago and Ottawa, Illinois, aiming to surpass the previous record of 72 skydivers set in Arizona in April 2015. After leaping from 5 aircraft flying in formation 18,000 feet above the ground, the group built the formation flying in a position that looks like sitting in a chair, or upright in skydiving lingo. They had about 60 seconds to complete the formation while plummeting towards the ground, at speeds approaching 200 miles an hour before separating from each other and opening their parachutes. The U.S. Parachute Association will submit the record to the Fédération Aéronautique Internationale, the international air sports governing body, for ratification as an official world record. And that was our last story of the day. Don't forget to subscribe and to check us out on Twitter and on Facebook. And for the latest aviation and aerospace news any time of the day, head over to aero-news.net. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow.